start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakach Kodash.
All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakach Kodash.
And today's topic is about something important, because I mean it's common knowledge now that there is such thing as segregation. The Lord doesn't want us to mix up with each other, and not only that, He hates a certain people. Our Lord has hate towards a certain people, and He has hate towards a certain people for a reason.
Yeah, because the Bible it promotes a lot of hate, and it's a book full of bloodshed.
Righteous hate. Too.
Yep. Right. Righteous hate. And it only has mercy for the house of Israel. Because a lot of stories, when you read them, it has a lot. It's about race wars. Like David and Goliath was a race war, and Samson was a race war.
Yeah, and then when we got out of Egypt, when we were in Egypt, we were segregated. Other nations didn't want anything to do with us. That's why the Egyptians put us in the town called Goshen. It's basically like you have your big cities, and then you have your little towns.
Because in Egypt, it was one race of people under another race of people, and that's why he was saying Moses, or it was it Moses? Yeah, Moses was saying, "Let my people go."
Yep. So what did he mean, my people? Let all of Egypt go?
He was saying, "Let them free from bondage."
And that's what lets you know if you're barely coming into truth, and you need sort of a wide view angle on the situation. This is spiritual Egypt, because we're trying to get out of here, and this society is geared to keep you stuck here under the Hellenization.
Because the Most High is telling you that slavery is wrong.
Well, the way you did it, Esau, the way you did it was wrong. Because you're supposed to. There's such thing as righteous slavery. You can have your own brother under serving you for a certain amount of years, and then you pay him off, and that's righteous. And then he becomes a free man, independent. But Esau, you didn't let us go. You took our land. You killed us. You raped our women, made our children whores, made everybody outside the temple. And I have this scripture right here. I'm gonna start off with this one. St. Matthew 25 and 31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And that's a very beautiful scripture. That's important. It's powerful as well. When the Lord comes in his glory. So that means when he was here, he wasn't in his glory, because he was susceptible to being chastised by other human beings. When he comes back, he's going to be all powerful. You don't want to see him like that, but you're going to see him, Esau. And now another point it makes right here, the holy angels with him. Man, so your ass is in deep shit. You got the most powerful being besides Yahweh coming back in all his glory and all his power, all his might. He can see the molecules holding up these trees. Yahweh can see what's inside you. He can see your heart beating. He knows what you're thinking. And that's how all the angels are too. So, and that means that we're going to be put in heavenly bodies as well. So we have to be segregated, because how the hell are you going to be living amongst the heathen when you yourself are not a heathen? You're better than that. You got that in Samuel?
because the Most High, after the Israelites, after they got free from Egypt, the Most High judged them, for doing that. He judged Pharaoh.
He fucked up
and
Egypt.
his people.
That's the same thing that's gonna happen to America, or Babylon the Great, I should say.
And in First Samuel, it talks about a race war too. This is 1 Samuel 15:1. Samuel also said unto Saul, Yahweh Shem Yahushai sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Thus said Yahweh Shem Yahushai of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt.
That's the spirit, man, because the brothers from Dallas were talking about that.
Yeah?
They were talking about that. I was just recently watching.
Oh, they were live, huh?
Yeah, but not right now. The last weeks. That's what they were talking about. Read that again.
This is 1 Samuel 15:2. It says, Thus saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt.
You didn't let us go through your land, Esau. We asked you. We said, hey man, let us go through your fucking land. And then we even tried to pay you so you could give us water and feed our flock. Dude, but and that's why we need to be separated from you. Because you taint everything.
Yeah, and it says I remember. So they try to make you, these days they try to make you forget about slavery, about what happened. It says, now go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass.
Everything. Mm-hmm. So don't think, why should I do this? There's a reason. And this is the important thing about reading. You have to read. You have to read the Bible. If you're using words, know what the fuck you're talking about. There's so many times where I have a conversation with the simple bird brain Negro, and they don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I have to stop using words like I'm talking right now, and take it to the hood and be like, hey man, what the fuck, are you listening, paying attention? But that just shows you the change. You have to make a change yourself. You have to separate yourself, man. I don't want to be like that. I want to know what I'm talking about. You have to know what you're talking about if you're going to be a prophet, if you're going to be a messenger. So that's why Samuel told, who you tell Saul? He told Saul?
Yeah.
Samuel told Saul to kill all the Amaleks. And guess what? He didn't. And that's why we're in this fucking situation. But it had to be like that. So now, if Yahweh Shem, he is going to tell us, Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to tell us, hey, wipe out all of Edom. We ain't going to be, we ain't going to be second thinking it. We'll be like, yes sir. We learn from our mistakes. That's why we have to go through this captivity, this punishment. I got this in Deuteronomy 33:2, and he said, Yahweh Shem Yahushai came from Sinai and rose up from Seir unto them. He shined forth from Mount Paran, and he came with 10,000s of saints. From his right hand went a fiery law for them. For them. Not for everybody. That's segregation again. Go ahead, get your...
This is Psalms 137:7. It says, remember, O Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it even to the foundation thereof. So it says remember. So again, Yahweh Shem Yahushai is putting it into remembrance about the captivities that they've been through.
You have to remember that, because it shows you that these Edomites don't like you. They hate you. They want to get rid of you. That's why they didn't let us use the King's Highway. They didn't do a damn thing to stop us from being thrown into slavery.
So it said, remember and give payback.
Oh man. So now you got to think about a situation in your head. If the commandments tell you not to kill, but the Lord's telling them to wipe everything out, then there has to be a difference between killing and what's going on. See, that word killing, it went back to the word murder. Do not murder. But this is just. This is justified. That lets you know that the Lord is all balanced, man. He's all balanced. He's all balanced, man. Just think about it like this. Every brother that's preaching and prophesying today, tomorrow, any day of the week, and it really doesn't have to be through GMS, but if they're prophesying in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, one, He separated us from the whole world, and two, He's chastising us too. He's saving us, but He's also whipping our ass, allowing it to happen. We're catching hell daily. I'm catching hell daily. I know I'm catching hell daily. Those things that bother you, what you see at work bothers you. Today we had some training, and one of my coworkers was like, you know, I'm really, what made me a better person is that I got baptized in water. Well, that's fucking stupid. Because the scriptures tell you this time right now, you're gonna be baptized with fire. So that lets you know that women shouldn't be even talking about the Bible. You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
That person got baptized with a demon, is what happened.
That person got baptized by R. Kelly, and that motherfucker peed on her. You can't get baptized with water, man. That's crazy.
And then, like how you're talking about killing, so every time it says in the Bible, when you got to put somebody to death, how do you think you're supposed to do that? You know?
See, that's why Esau covered the faces thereof. If not him, who? Because if you know that he's a culprit, then you also know that one day he's gonna have to die. We're gonna have to get rid of his ass.
Because he's the ones that's saving the LGBT community.
LGBTQP.
You know?
Man, you guys add all the letters you want.
He's saving that from being killed.
Yeah, Esau is the one that's allowing that.
They're supposed to be put to death.
The thing I find amusing is, okay, you see that happen. You see that these homosexuals are getting rights. They're getting privileges. You're losing your privileges. You're losing your rights. And then you say to yourself, well, there's nothing I could do. Yeah, there is. You come to the truth. You could say, no, I don't. Even if you're an Edomite, you can say, no, I ain't down with that. But if you're an Edomite, you're definitely down with that. I got this in Exodus 19, verse 18. And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai descended upon it in fire, and the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long and waxed louder and louder, Moses spake, and Yahweh answered him by a voice. And Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai came down upon Mount Sinai on the top of the mount. And Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai called Moses up to the top of the mount, and Moses went up. Oh man, this is a good one. And then Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai said to Moses, go down, charge the people, lest they break thorough unto the Lord to gaze, and many of them perish. So you have to be separated from the Lord. Even if you're an Israelite, you have to be separated from the Lord, because you can't gaze upon him, man. You die. That's real power. You can't even look upon Yahweh. That's real power.
You can't try to be like him. You know?
Man, that's some serious power.
No way do we think trying to be like him.
That's why all the angels look down, or they're worshiping. They ain't looking at. Hey, Satan is not looking at Yahweh in the eyes. Okay, he's not standing up to him. He's not. And he knows what I'm saying is true, and I'm talking about the spiritual saying. What I'm saying is true. He ain't talking back to Yahweh. There ain't no fucking war up there. The war is down here. That's insane. Okay.
This is back in Exodus. This is another account when Joshua, when he came into conflict with Amalek also. This is Exodus 17 and 13. It says, and Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword.
Damn.
So right there, it's always the Israelites who are fighting Amalek. It's always one race fighting another people.
And you could take a look at modern day warfare. It's not a group of people from different countries fighting against another group of people. That's World War III. That's going to happen. It's Esau trying to do whatever he's doing, making little infiltration groups. Like all that shit, ISIS and all that bullshit. They're United States Army men. They're creating a conflict. Every war that's happening right now, they're creating it. And I'm talking about Edom. Okay? You're creating all those conflicts so you can have money. So you can keep this dollar afloat. And so you can spread your influence. So you can make the whole world a Sodom and Gomorrah. That's why those missiles, when they come back, when the Yahushua makes the angels let loose the four winds, those missiles are going to burn everything up, cleansifying the earth, because the earth is hurting. The earth is hurting.
It needs to start over, just like the flood.
Yeah. This time it's going to be fire. Let me set you up with this one. This is back in Matthew 20:25 and 32. And before him shall be gathered all nations. Pay attention, everybody. Because now it's talking about everybody on the planet. Okay? And
there's 18 nations on the planet, right?
Yeah. There's not 260 fucking different nations or 300, however many fucking countries there is. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as the shepherd divided his sheep from goats. That's talking about Yahushua gonna do the separating, man. He's gonna be like, oh, you motherfuckers go over there because you're nasty. Just go live over there. You know? Hey, but it's not, that makes it sound pretty easy, right? Pretty simple. Well, yeah, Yahushua's gonna come back and separate it, and then everything's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay for the Israelites. Because the way he's gonna separate it is, it's not gonna be nice. Because look at all the things that you've done. I know you heard us talking about Revelation 13:9 and 10. You know, if he that leadeth into captivity will be led into captivity. You got to think about that. Because the problem with you Christians is you don't read the Bible, you don't believe what you're reading, and if you do read the Bible, you misinterpret it and you have a crazy idea of what it means. Or get the scripture you were going to get.
Yeah, like you were talking about that scripture that you just read, how he separated, because we all came from Adam and Eve, but yet he separated. So I was going to get Genesis 1 and 26. It says, the Most High said, let us make man in our image after our likeness. So when they made Adam and Eve, they made them dark skinned. So and then the son of the Most High, he's dark skinned. So whatever the son is, the father is.
Exactly.
You know, so that's why the Most High, he said, make it in our image and our likeness. You know, what we like.
In our image and likeness. So if you're in the image of Yahweh, you're righteous, right? But if you're in the image of sweet Jesus, then you're totally going off, man. You're fucking crazy is what's going on. That's fucking insane, man. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I understand that the devil had to paint over those pictures to get where he's at right now by those lies. And Esau doesn't just fucking lie. He orchestrates a lie. He has the lie ready, the verbal lie. He has it on documents. The fucking Balfour Declaration is a good example. And then he has all the paintings across the world painted in his image, so that you can argue this right here in this country, but then there's a pictures of white Jesus somewhere in Korea, and he has scientists that he hires to say that they barely just found this shit.
This is back in Exodus 17 and 13. It said, and Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And Yahweh Bashim Yahushai said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua. So right there he said, put it down for a remembrance. It says, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. He's going to put out the remembrance of Amalek. So right there, he's telling you he's going to get rid of a nation, get rid of a race.
Okay, this is the spirit right here. This is Ezekiel 33 and 17. If the children of thy people say, the way of the Lord is not equal, but as for them, their way is not equal. So you could be saying, man, is that really what God's saying? That's not fair. But your way is not fair. Talking about some goddamn rights for a fucking homosexual, and you know he's fucking gonna rape little boys, do shit to little girls, and that fucks up how they grow up, and then all of a sudden these fucked up kids are in high positions. They're congressmen. They're writing laws. And not only that, we've been talking about how there is concentration camps, and they had the children of the 10 tribes. You know, the immigrants that were coming over here. They separated the children and put them in concentration camps, sort of like that. But if come to find out through the news, the Mexican channel says that these little kids have all been molested by these guards. So now all these fucking kids are all fucked up. That's why nobody trusts you, Esau.
This is back in Exodus 17 and 14. It says, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. So right there, it's telling you that the Most High has a pleasure in doing that to a certain people on this earth. And it says, and Moses built an altar and called the name of it Yahweh Nissi, for he said, because Yahweh Shema Yahushai has sworn that Yahweh Shema Yahushai will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. So right there, Yahweh Shema Yahushai is going to have war with Amalek. You know, from generation to generation, it's not going to stop.
Damn. So now you got to do some serious studying, man, because it's not just that simple as a word that you're hearing. Amalek has changed his appearance, generation to generation, his name, where he lives. Yeah, because he was a Greeks, he was a Romans. He called himself Egyptian. This motherfucker is a damn liar.
Yeah.
Read that again, man. That was beautiful.
It says, it's in Exodus 17 and 16. For he said, because Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has sworn that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will have war with Amalek from generation to generation.
And it has to happen like that because every generation Esau comes back nastier and more evil. The reason why is because they keep coming back. From the time they were Amalek, until right now, they always knew they were Amalek.
So that tells you that's reincarnation.
Yeah, that tells you that it's reincarnation. How are you gonna have a war with the people? Like you fucking cracker defenders say, well, the Edomites are done away with. Yeah, they're done away with. They don't call themselves Edomites anymore. They call themselves Americans or British, Australian, German, Spanish, Greek, Italian. They call themselves different names, but they're still the same spirit. I got this in St. Matthew 30:25 and 33. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on his left. See, the sheep represent, and that's talking, this is a message of segregation, separation, division. Not mixing, not a melting pot. None of that. It's talking about you stay away from that, and they're going to stay away from you. So right there, that tells you that the sheep are going to be on the right hand, and the goats on the left hand. And here's a little tidbit. Some historians call Alexander the Greek the greatest of all time, which is the acronym for GOAT.
Because Esau's the goat.
Yep. Oh shoot! Yeah, that's a good story right there.
And Jacob's the sheep.
Yeah, because when they were born, they were born together.
I'll go back in 1 Samuel 15:5, and Saul came to a city of Amalek and laid wait in the valley. And Saul said unto the Kenites, go depart, get you down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. So right there, you can't even be amongst the Amalekites, or else the Most High will destroy you with them.
Yep.
It says, for ye shewed kindness to all the children of Israel when they came up out of Egypt. So the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites, and Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until thou comest to Shur, that is over against Egypt. And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. But Saul and the people spared Agag. So he destroyed all the people, but he still saved the king of the Amalekites.
And that dude ended up working for I don't know if it was Medes, but he became tributary to another nation, and that's how he continued to be alive still. Showing you that you got to eradicate everything. Esau's like a bacteria, an infection that spreads, and the only way you can kill it is if you terminate all of the cells. This is Ezekiel 34:17. And as for you, O my flock, thus said Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, thy power, behold, I judge between cattle and cattle, between the rams and the he-goats. Seemeth it a small thing unto you to have eaten up the good pasture, but ye must tread down with your feet the residue of your pastures, and to have drunken of the deep waters, but ye must fondle the residue with your feet. And that's talking about how when Esau takes over a certain place, he fucks everything up, and what's left for the sheep is been trampled. It's not a good you don't get the clean water, you don't get the clean food. They get the clean food and the clean water, and we get the dirty shit. We get the GMOs.
Yep. We get what's left behind.
Nobody wants that.
Because if there's something that's clean right there, and then somebody tramples over it, there's just gonna be bits and pieces of it. That's what we get.
Yep. This is verse 20 in Ezekiel 34. Therefore thus said the Lord Yahweh unto them, Behold, even I will judge between the fat cattle and between the lean cattle, because ye have thrust us with, let me read that again, 21. Because ye have thrust with side and with shoulder, and pushed all the diseased with your horns, till ye have scattered them abroad. Therefore will I save my flock, and they shall no more be a prey, and I will judge between cattle and cattle. And I will set up one shepherd over them, and he shall feed them. Even my servant David, he shall feed them, and he shall be their shepherd. And I, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, will be their power, and my servant David a prince among them. I, the Lord, have spoken it. See, so there's separation. It didn't say anybody else but the Israelites.
It said, I will be their power. You know, I will be their God.
It means an active and living power. Right?
This is Deuteronomy 20 and 17. Deuteronomy 20 and 17. But thou shalt utterly destroy them. Because this is back when they was given the commandment to destroy, you know, the other heathen nations. Deuteronomy 20 and 17. But thou shalt utterly destroy them, namely the Hittites and the Amorites, the Canaanites and the Perizzites, the Hivites and the Jebusites, as Yahweh Shem Yahushai thy power hath commanded thee. So it said, thou shalt all these heathen nations. It says, thou shalt utterly destroy them. That means to wipe them out.
To get all of them.
But they didn't follow that commandment, so that's why they're here today.
Yeah. This is back in St. Matthew 25 and 34. Then shall the king say unto them on his right,